He will be deliberating on acupressure and acupuncture. And he is from ESIC Medical College.
In the world. And the basic underlying theory, according to the traditional Chinese medicine, involves yin and yang and qi. Yin and yang is a concept which is applicable to the whole universe, which is like night and day, heat and cold, male, female. So everything is in opposition, but still it is in balance in the whole of universe. So, according to these Chinese medicine theory, there is an inner energy which is called qi, and it keeps on circulating in orbitals like things throughout the body, which are called meridians. And the disease is caused by the imbalance of the qi during this circulation. So acupuncture, what does acupuncture does? It enhances the flow of qi and corrects the imbalance of the vital energy. Types of acupuncture: traditional acupuncture, which are metal filiform needles which are inserted into the skin, into the acupoints. These points are located on the meridians. There are channels. There are total about 14 channels in the body. 12 are related to the internal organs like liver, spleen, kidney, lung and heart. These are called the solid organs. These are called Zen organs. And correspondingly, the hollow organs like spleen, small intestine, large intestine, urinary bladder, gallbladder, like that. So these are called hollow organs. So they are again six. You have six solid organs, six hollow organs, and there are two unpaired channels, which one runs in front of the body and one runs on the back. Then electrical acupuncture, the same needles are connected to an electrical device and some stimulation is provided by the electrical acupuncture. Laser acupuncture, which now we term as low level laser therapy. I have been using lasers for now more than 20 years, and in this the same points are again stimulated with the help of laser therapy. This is the advancements which have occurred. There is no need to insert needle. So even the smaller babies, smaller children, they can be given this therapy painless without it. And best thing is that no sterilization of needle is required. It is absolutely non-invasive therapy which can be used. The purpose of acupuncture, these are the various purposes: achieve pain relief, improve blood circulation, relax muscles, reduce inflammation, normalize autonomic functions, promote regeneration of the tissues. I have done several cases where the nerve palsies have occurred, third nerve palsy, sixth nerve palsy and seventh nerve palsy, which is very common, which you know as Bell's palsy. So these patients can be absolutely cured by use of acupuncture. It promotes healing, it restores homeostasis and alleviates the withdrawal symptoms in case patient is on some addicting drugs. Then even the de-addiction can. It's not that only the chronic conditions can be treated. It can even be applied in acute conditions. So, as I have told you, there are 12 meridians and the disruption of energy flow leads to disease. The acupuncture's goal is to restore the normality of body's energy balance by utilizing combination of acupuncture points located on these 14 channels. The laser beam, we use monochromatic laser beam, and correct frequency modulation will energize the meridian an acupuncture point in order to improve the oscillation of meridian known frequency. Just understand these acupuncture points are low resistant points where energy flow is maximum, current flow is maximum in these areas, and they can be very easily you put it on, it will give you an audio visual signal. If you apply a locator on these points, it will give you audio visual signal because the current flow is maximum. So it is very easy to recognize these points, and then you can insert either needle or you can apply laser, or you can apply even heat, which is in the form of some herbs, which is lighted like a cigar, and heat can be applied. Some other methods are also there, like people are using color acupuncture and other things. So there are several basic things remains the same. The points are the same, only the method of stimulation differs. So these are the channels, just the diagrammatic representation. By Western allopathic sciences, we have seen that considerable evidence supports the claim that opioid peptides are released. When you stimulate these points, there is increase in the endorphin and enkephalin levels in the brain, which produces the long-term relief of pain, which is what we require in chronic condition. And not only the peptides are released, there are other neurotransmitters which are released, which are beneficial in other ailments like bronchial asthma, sinusitis, and other allergic conditions. So I'll come to the therapeutic parts where you will see that how this thing is, what other ailments are there in the body which can be treated by acupuncture. So this is another evidence that this is photon emission completion tomography, which shows the flow of blood in different areas, and after the acupuncture you can see the flow, the red area has decreased in the brain. So this is just to prove that it is not only a peripheral system, the things are actually happening at the level of CNS. This is one of the electrical stimulator where we use frequency as well as the potency of the current, which can be controlled by this, and you attach different needles with this stimulator, which is required in cases of neural diseases as well as the musculoskeletal problems. The advantages of electroacupuncture is that practitioner does not have to be precise with insertion of needle. It shortens the course of therapy, it is convenient, it is less painful, and can be used even without needle. If you have electrodes, you can place electrodes. Frequency, intensity, and pulse width of the impulse can be adjusted by electrical acupuncture. Then the more advanced thing is the laser. So what we are using are diode-based lasers, and there are several physiological effects, like it stimulates the cell growth, increases ATP production, increases metabolism, improves cell regeneration, invokes anti-inflammatory response, promotes edema reduction, reduces fibrous tissue formation, stimulates nerve function, reduces the production of substance P, stimulates long-term production of antinucleotides. So you can see several advantages of laser therapy are here, and of course it is painless. The anti-inflammatory effect of laser is in combination of what you can produce with acupuncture. It itself acts as an anti-inflammatory agent equivalent to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. The advantages of laser acupuncture: in each point you have to require only 10 to 30 seconds on per point, and it can be consistently applied at any time. Points which are difficult or painful to do, cases in which classical acupuncture does not recommend the use of needle, like asthenic patients. Therapy interval, it differs. In acute cases, we can give it twice or three times a day, daily. But in chronic cases, we use it 2 to 3 times per week. Initially, we give a therapy for about 10 days and we see the response. And we leave it for another 10 days and see how is the response. And then depending on the response, we decide whether it should be given every week, weekly or twice a week or alternately. So depending on the response of the patient. And response is very, very good. Acupuncture efficacy by WHO has been recognized, and it has been recognized in ear, nose and throat disorders, respiratory disorders, GI disorders, eye disorders, neurological and muscular disorders and gynecology. This is proven by, permitted by WHO. Laser therapy can be given in acute chronic pain, paresthesia, neuralgias, allergic rhinitis, sinusitis, frozen shoulder, arthritis, arthrosis, bursitis, tendinitis, carpal tunnel, TMJ dysfunction, cervical and lumbar spines, dermatitis, asthma, phantom pain, fibromyalgia, nerve degeneration that I have already told you, and wound healing. So lots of application of laser therapy are there. Contraindications, most of the contraindications of laser are relative rather than of absolute. If there is a sepsis and overwhelming infection, even I would not like to use laser or any acupuncture therapy, or any unexplained or unstable syncope-position. Local contraindications to acupuncture include active skin infection lesion or malignancy. Pregnancy, if there is a risk of absorption, you don't give those points which are right on the abdomen. So this is in short about the application of acupuncture, but I must warn you, it is not a panacea for every other disease. See, you have to, like any other system of medicine, you have to choose your patients and then give the treatment. What we are doing, we are integrating the acupuncture therapy with modern system of medicine. We diagnose with usual methods. For backache and this thing, I ask my patients to undergo MRI and then we diagnose and see that how much is the disc prolapse or how much is the compression. If there is a neurological deficit already existing, there is no point giving acupuncture in such cases. Patient requires surgery. So straight away tell them this. Similarly for bronchial asthma, if the patient is a young patient with acute onset, extensive variety of asthma, results are excellent. But there is no point giving to case of COPD or chronic bronchial asthma where permanent changes have already taken in this thing. Then it is a waste of time and you are fooling yourself and you are also fooling the patient. So you have to choose your patient and then give wherever required. I've been running pain clinic for since 1985 and I've run it in 23 years in Safdarjung, from where I have recently retired. Now I am based at ESIC Medical College, Faridabad, and we are going to start a pain clinic there also. So acupuncture forms a part of the pain clinic, and wherever it is indicated, if it is indicated, it gives very good result. But for therapies which are where blocks are needed or other parts or surgical procedure is needed, be very, very sure to give that opinion to the patient. And then the healing part and your expertise is also required for such cases where it can be treated. So thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Dr. Gogia, for the excellent presentation. Is there any questions?
Doctor, do you do any tests also like X-ray and MRI?
Everything.
I was surprised to see Dr. Kapoor was doing that. He was on the monitor, he was graphing out everything there.
See, that is what I was telling you. What we have done is we are integrating the acupuncture therapy with the modern system of medicine. This is a real integration. We are allopathic doctors. I am a professor of anesthesia. So I do my usual investigations which are required. If it warrants acupuncture therapy, I will give acupuncture therapy. If it required a block to be given, like epidurals and this thing, I will give epidural in case of back. So we have several options, but where acupuncture is a preferable method, we will give it. As I have told you, for facial nerve paralysis or 6 nerve or this thing, I will definitely give. For frozen shoulder, I will give acupuncture. I will not give any block. But we are giving everything depending on the patient. So patient selection is the most important thing. If you apply it well, the results are excellent. Even for gangrene, like Vajas and this thing, in initial portion, the patient has claudication. Give acupuncture. Even if the patient has the ulcer, non-healing ulcer, it heals because the blood flow is increased. The channels which are blocked by the arteries which are blocked, which are not permeable, we are not going to be patented again. Okay? Because it is thromboangiitis. What they benefit is by formation of new vascular channels. So, new vascular channels open up and the healing takes place. Patient's claudication improves, so it is in initial stages, it will be very, very helpful. Similarly in migraine and sinusitis, dysmenorrhea, it's very, very good for these cases. But you have to choose your cases. It's not that you give it to each and everyone without diagnosing.
Do you give it on a daily basis?
That I told you, that initially we give 10 days sittings
10 days daily.
and then we leave it for 10 days and see the response. If the response is good, then maybe he will require once or twice a week sitting. Okay? And if it requires again daily sitting, we will give this. But usually the results are pretty good. But it has to be proper application.
I have 3 questions. Number 1, there was a relative who role in benign cyst and all. She was, ultrasound was done in thyroid and there were few benign cysts there. She went for acupuncture and 3 months later ultrasound was done, cysts were not there. So, your opinion on that? Secondly, any role in, suppose there is knee joint arthritis, any role in regeneration of the cartilage? And third is, if suppose there is a meniscal tear of the knee joint injury, what roles does it play apart from pain?
Answering the first question first, the role of thyroid cyst or this thing. Thyroid cyst and other things, they have a tendency to disappear on its own. So don't be guided by that they have had acupuncture and it has vanished. It has no role. Very, very simple. Second thing you asked about the osteoarthritis. Yes, osteoarthritis. It works in initial stages where there is an inflammation of the synovium. If already permanent changes have taken place, the costal cartilage has been damaged, not much changes are going to be expected. Only thing is that it will produce some amount of pain relief so that patient can do his physiotherapy. That is the second. Third one was
One was meniscal tear, what was
meniscal tear, no role at all. Meniscal tear requires surgery, it has to be. Very, very clear. I am very clear, I don't take up such cases. Where it can be applied, take only those cases.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bhogia, for the basic talk. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?